Ladies and gentlemen, in the early morning hours of the 18th of July, 2025, the bustling, resilient heart of China, Beijing, was suddenly brought to a standstill. A relentless downpour that lasted through the night turned the capital into a vast sea of water. Once busy downtown districts became enormous lakes as the overwhelmed drainage system collapsed under pressure. According to the China Meteorological Administration, rainfall in Chongqing and Haidian alone exceeded 270 millimeters in just 6 hours, a record high, not seen in over 4 decades. But the disaster didn't stop there. Just as rush hour began, torrential rains struck again, trapping thousands of commuters in their cars, stranded on highways where floodwaters rose halfway up their vehicles. At Beijing West Railway Station, which serves over 300,000 passengers a day, floodwaters surged into the underground levels. Surveillance cameras captured terrifying scenes, passengers screaming, scrambling up staircases as black torrents poured in, sweeping away luggage, trash bins, and even electrical sparks from overloaded panels. The city's subway lines, including Line 10, Line 13, and the Airport Express were forced to shut down as water began pouring into the tunnels. In newly developed urban zones like Yangfang, Tongzhou, and Chaoyang, rising waters cut off entire communities. Thousands of residents were forced to take shelter on rooftops, upper-level parking structures, or inside shopping malls. Schools shut down urgently. Key hospitals like Chongqing Hospital were flooded at ground level, with patients being wheeled out on stretchers to open parking lots. In Zilanji, a busy overpass collapsed, without warning after floodwaters eroded its foundation. At least 7 vehicles plunged into the raging current. Rescue teams had to dive for hours to retrieve 3 victims trapped beneath the muddy water inside their submerged cars. Further north in Miyun County, near the foot of the Yan Mountains, a massive landslide buried 11 people under thick layers of mud and rock. Several villages in the area were completely cut off, no power, no cell signal. All communication lines were down. Immediately, Beijing authorities activated a Level 1 emergency response, the highest alert possible. Over 12,000 rescue personnel, 170 inflatable boats, 12 drones, and units of the armed police force were fully mobilized. Temporary shelters were set up in gymnasiums and cultural centers, distributing clean water, blankets, and emergency food supplies to more than 58,000 evacuees. Heartbreaking images began circulating on social media. Elderly people clinging to utility poles, waiting for rescue in rising waters. Children floating on makeshift rafts made from styrofoam boxes. As silent crowds waded through chest-deep floods in neighborhoods that were once vibrant, now dark, deserted, and eerily quiet. As of 12 p.m., at least 14 people have been confirmed dead, over 1,200 homes destroyed, and dozens of bus routes and metro lines completely shut down. In the industrial outskirts, an electronics components factory was submerged, with estimated damages reaching hundreds of millions of yuan. Experts warn that in the next 48 hours, extreme rainfall is expected to continue, raising the threat of flash floods and deadly landslides, particularly around the Miyun Reservoir.
我操！操你妈的！我操！我操！哎，你们别买车了，买船去吧！我操！对，这要是要车不要命的呗！
Once again, Beijing, the beating heart of China, is bracing itself against a catastrophic natural disaster that struck without warning. And amid the fury of the storm, there are desperate cries for help, arms reaching through the floodwaters to pull others to safety. And a bitter reminder, in the face of an increasingly violent climate, human beings are fragile and small. Each video clip doesn't just document nature's wrath, it tells a deeper story about our vulnerability. It helps people understand the risks, learn how to prepare, and most importantly, rekindles empathy and compassion. That's the purpose behind sharing these painful images, to turn devastation into awareness, to spark change, and to help us all better prepare for an uncertain future.
Tasia. 这怎么回事儿啊？这我天哪，那车刮的！